Ahead on 12 News, a case of campaign sign vandalism, what some neighbors are doing to call attention to the problem. Then, how an outbreak of a rare form of meningitis is affecting Minnesota patients. But first, a neighborhood comes together to help a family who lost everything in a Brooklyn Park house fire.
Yeah, in a time like this, you just try to put yourself in their shoes, but they don't have shoes.
12 News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Johnson. It was a devastating day as fire destroyed this Brooklyn Park home on Thursday. Strong winds hampered the efforts of firefighters, and the fire threatened other homes and ended up charring a nearby grassy field. Now, today, neighbors are doing what they can to make life a little better for that family that lost their home. Alexandra Renslow is live in Brooklyn Park with more. Alex?
Mike, the Klein family lost everything in this fire. The young couple and their infant son are staying with relatives right now while their Brooklyn Park neighborhood rallies around them.
They pulled off most of the siding that had melted completely, but as you can see, a lot of the siding had melted from the fire.
Nick Camp has his hands full with work crews and fire cleanup at his own home right now. But it's nothing compared to what the fire did to his next-door neighbor's house.
Their cars, their home, everything they own is gone, but they had their family.
The Klein family lost everything but the clothes on their backs. And while insurance will help them rebuild long-term, their neighborhood is leaping to the rescue today.
Yeah, in a time like this, you just try to put yourself in their shoes, but they don't have shoes. So it's extremely difficult and overwhelming to even think about it.
Diapers for the baby, bags of clothes, and gift cards for the basic necessities are collecting at Nick Camp's home. His neighborhood is kicking into action, putting out an all call for donations via social media and old-fashioned door-to-door, in hopes that their efforts can help ease the discomfort of another.
You know, you just do the neighborly thing in a time like this.
And back out here live, this Georgia Avenue neighborhood has set up a receiving station this Friday evening for donations through 8 o'clock. We did, just within the hour, speak with the Klein family. They stopped by to pick up some of those donations that you saw. They didn't want to go on camera, but they did say they are incredibly grateful for all the donations. Jessica Klein said they have gotten money and gift cards from people they have never even met. Reporting live in Brooklyn Park, Alexandra Renslow, 12 News.
Good to see them coming together and helping each other out. Thank you, Alex. A drug used to relieve back pain has been linked to a rare and deadly form of meningitis, and state health officials say about 750 Minnesotans could be at risk. Minnesota Surgery Center in Maple Grove is one of 6 Twin Cities clinics to administer the drug, a steroid product linked to a national outbreak of fungal meningitis. Massachusetts pharmacy that's now closed made the product, which is linked to at least 5 deaths nationwide. Minnesota Health Department says 4 patients treated at Twin Cities clinics have shown symptoms of fungal meningitis.
And we are urging patients who have symptoms, even if they're mild symptoms, to get evaluated. And we are following up to find out if we do have cases. But at this point, we have no confirmed cases in Minnesota.
Symptoms of fungal meningitis include headache, fever, sensitivity to light, and pain at the site where patients receive their injection. Many of the patients also experience symptoms of stroke. Election seasons are always filled with attack ads, but it's not often that you see people physically attacking the ads. Yet that's exactly what happened in one Brooklyn Park neighborhood. Delane Cleveland joins us now with more on a case of so-called sign bullies. Delane?
Mike, the marriage amendment is one of the more controversial issues that voters will have to weigh, but some people aren't content with simply voicing their opinion at the ballot box.
This is actually a criminal act, and we hope that people will just cease and desist and let us get together and have a civil conversation about the issues.
Those first targeted this Brooklyn Park neighborhood along Mississippi Lane 2 weeks ago by destroying 5 campaign signs urging people to vote no on the marriage amendment. After the neighbors replaced those signs, someone came by Wednesday night and stole them all. The targeted homeowners call the acts an assault against their civil liberties and their political process.
I'm outraged. We will not tolerate prejudice and bigotry in our community. This is the second most diversity in the state, and this is not welcome. this is a violation of our free speech by putting signs in our yard and someone continuously coming and taking them out.
Neighbors say this is the first time they've ever seen this sort of backlash directed toward campaign signs. And Mike, this is costing the homeowners money as well. Each of those vote no signs costs $10, and they've replaced them every time something has happened. Mike?
All right, Delane, thank you very much. Well, Minnesota's chief tax collector says Governor Mark Dayton will present a tax reform package when the state legislature convenes in January. In Crystal last night, Revenue Commissioner Myron Franz says the tax system is out of balance with too much reliance on property taxes. Franz is on a state tour to hear from taxpayers themselves, and he says they say property taxes are just too high.
People have been concerned about the fact that we continue to try to rely on property taxes, and we've been reducing aid to local governments around the state, causing them to either raise property taxes or cut services.
Franz says the state is facing a $1 billion shortfall for the next 2 years. Well, here's a heads up for drivers in the metro area. Hennepin County may not have the most deer in the state, but it does have the most car versus deer collisions. The deer movement will peak in the next few weeks, and the State Patrol is reminding drivers to be aware of deer no matter where you're driving. Public safety officials say drivers should never suddenly swerve when deer appear in the road. There were more than 500 collisions with deer in Hennepin County in the last 2 years. Coming up, he isn't turning water into wine, but it's close. We'll show you what one local business owner is doing with old wine barrels. Later in sports, Benilde St. Margaret faces a key opponent in the North Suburban volleyball race. But first, a check of your AccuWeather forecast shows a freezing start for runners at this weekend's Twin Cities Marathon. Just like a fine wine, a local man is setting out to prove that wine barrels get better with age, and he's found a way to put old wine barrels back to work in your backyard. Renee Bonneau goes in the garden with the owner of By the Barrel.
When Anthony Quill was looking for extra income 3 years ago, he got into the recycling business, turning wine barrels into rain barrels.
A new barrel can cost a couple $1,000s. They're all handmade. There's a lot of work that goes into them, so it's pretty wasteful to have such a nice, barrel go to waste.
His company, By the Barrel, is a family affair. His dad, Scott, came up with the design, and they, along with Quill's mom, wife, and brother, help keep business running smoothly.
We do this part-time, and we're kind of at our max for the amount of time we can spend on it.
The barrels come from vineyards in California's Napa Valley and in Washington State. They're made of white oak, and Quill says they're built to last.
We have a lot of customers that come that bought plastic rain barrels that cracked. When the water freezes, they usually crack along the water line.
The wood in these barrels are about 3/4 of an inch thick, and Quill says as long as you take care of your rain barrel, it should last you about 10 years. Some of Quill's customers say they just like the way his barrels look.
I like the aesthetics of them. I think they look a lot better than the plastic ones. They're just more rustic looking, and I have an older house and it just fits with the decor.
Quill is one of a handful of vendors in the Twin Cities selling rain barrels made of wine or whiskey barrels. For more information on By the Barrel, visit 12.tv. In the garden, Renee Bonneau, 12 News.
Quill's rain barrels cost about $200, and in addition to rain barrels, he makes garden planters. He even sells plain barrels for people who want to make their own furniture. Still ahead on 12 News, how a group of fourth graders helped score a victory for Mother Nature. But first in sports, action from a windy playoff tennis match between Champlin Park and Osseo. Jay Wilcox has that and more when we come back. Jay Wilcox now with sports. Tennis can be hard enough when you have a good opponent, but add some wind to it and things can get really interesting.
I think we're starting to see this week why they normally move the end of the season matches indoors for playoff time. It's been pretty brutal. Yeah. After a strong regular season, the Champlin Park girls tennis team earned the number 3 seed for the Section 5 AA tournament. There, the Rebels met a Northwest Suburban Conference foe in that opening round, the Rebels hosting Osseo. At number 1 singles, Allison Rushy of Osseo serving to Champlin Park's Riley Abesecra. Rushy's backhand will drop deep in the corner for the point here. Later, Abe Sacra with a nice serve, and she'll get the point when Russia's shot will go long. Abe Sacra wins this match 7-5, 6-love. At number 2 singles, Anna Markgraf serving for Champlin Park to the Orioles' Sid Polich. Markgraf wins the point and goes on to win the match in straight sets. Number 3 singles, Sarah Handel in the far court for Champlin Park, Dana Baki for Osseo. Baki will get a cross-court forehand winner on this point as you check out the wind blowing things around. But Handel answers with the return winner on this one, and she goes on to win the match 6-1, 6-love for the Rebels. To number 1 doubles, Maddie Johnson serving for Osseo. Steph Lindgren strokes the backhand winner for the Rebels. Then Lindgren's partner Liz Kelly serving. Kelly's backhand sets up a volley winner for Lindgren on this point. They win 6-1, 6-love. At second doubles, Jessie Kelly and Emily Sjostrom in the far court for Champlin Park. Kelly rips a volley winner. They win the match 6-1, 6-1. The Rebels win all the matches, and they're hosting Coon Rapids. More wind in the quarterfinals today. In volleyball, Benilde St. Margaret's and Chisago Lakes are the 2 closest competitors chasing league leader Totino Grace in the North Suburban Conference. The Red Knights hosting Chisago Lakes on Thursday. Game 1, Alyssa Hines puts down the kill for Chisago Lakes. Then Victoria Kildo will drop it in for the Wildcats just inside the end line. BSM should have played that one. Chisago takes the game 25-16. Game 2 is all Chisago. Back set to Brianna Fernstrom for the left-handed kill. Then Hines and Kildo will combine for a block. 25-11 Wildcats in Game 2. The Red Knights come alive a bit in Game 3. Emma Lisney with a hard shot for a Benilde point here. And Perry Warren will put one through the defense for a kill. It's a close game all the way, but Chisago Lakes closes strong. Hines gets the kill off the blockers. Chisago Lakes wins the match. In 3, Benilde falls into 3rd place in the North Suburban. In the Northwest Suburban Conference, Champlin Park hosting Coon Rapids. Coon Rapids is on the right in black. They set it middle to Olivia Jung for the kill on this point. The Cardinals looking good, leading 17-12 in Game 1. But Champlin Park takes over from there. Maria Sampson goes off speed here, and it fools the Cardinals and drops in. The Rebels rally to win 25-22. Champlin Park leads all the way in Game 2. Janae Alderson with a block, and it'll crawl along the net and drop in for a point. Champlin Park rolls to a 25-17 win in the second. To the 3rd game, and it's another good one for the home team, Champlin Park. Taylor Gore gets a nice block for the Rebels as they go up 17-11. Gore delivers an ace serve here as Champlin Park sweeps Coon Rapids. The regular season in high school soccer ends this week. Cooper closed out their North Suburban Conference schedule at St. Louis Park. The boys up first on a chilly day. St. Louis Park gets one on a penalty kick as Brian Shrestha puts it away to give the Orioles a 1-0 advantage. They aim for more, but watch a nice save by Christopher Vargas on this one. His diving stop for the Hawks keeps them within a goal. Late in the match, Cooper gets a chance to tie. Clara Nsondecki's shot deflects to goalkeeper Thomas Rempfer. The first half goal holds up as the winner as St. Louis Park wins it 1-0. In the girls' game, the wind whipping. A nice pass is slipped ahead for St. Louis Park to Audrey Ingram, who takes her time, comes in alone to score for a 1-0 Park lead. Cooper nearly ties it off a free kick by Haley Sundquist, but Riley Reardon makes a good save for the Orioles to keep it a 1-0 game. Second half, and after a short corner kick, the Orioles work it over to Ellen Adelman, and she'll chip the shot and ends up dropping into the net. St. Louis Park takes the girls' game by a score of 3-0, and I feel bad for all the teams, football, soccer, that have to be outside, and tennis has not been great.
Even on soccer, and the wind's blowing so hard, they play on only one side of the field.
It definitely affects things, no
All right,
doubt.
thanks. Now to local vote 2012, there will be a new city council member representing Section 1 in Crystal. The incumbent lost in the primary, so Guy Mueller, who placed first in the primary, is up against Laura Libby.
I'm Laura Libby, and I'm running for Crystal City Council Section 1. I am committed to the future of Crystal, and I want to work with you. I've been a Crystal homeowner for 15 years, and I love this city. I have a degree from the University of Minnesota in environmental studies. My strong leadership, communication, and values will help Crystal make solid decisions for a sustainable future. A vote for Laura Libby is a vote for a strong local economy, safe, livable neighborhoods, new vision, energy, and ideas, innovative local economic opportunities, residential agriculture and backyard chickens, and engaging and involving residents in city government. I would be honored to receive your vote on November 6th. Visit lauralibby.org for more information. Thank you.
My name is Guy Mueller. Some of you may know me as a longtime neighbor and active volunteer. I started my career as a city planner and finished in private business. With knowledge of both public and private sectors, I will bring a balance of perspectives to City Hall. Crystal is a great place to call home, but we also face some challenges: taxes, property crime, housing foreclosures, snow removal, and idle park buildings, to name a few. As Crystal's Section 1 council member, I will confront these issues with diligence and resolve. I will ensure that each resident's voice is heard at City Hall and that Crystal's voice is heard at the county, the Met Council, and the state capitol. Crystal needs a new champion ready to serve you with a full-time commitment. I promise you that commitment, and I ask for your vote. Thank you.
And we'll be right back. Well, this weekend, you can get in the polka spirit at Oktoberfest in Osseo. The third annual event begins at 11 o'clock Saturday, ends at 6 p.m. Kids can enjoy games and activities throughout the day. And what's more, there's even a brat eating contest, which is always a big highlight. And folks on 1 Golden Valley Street say the Great Pumpkin lives on their block, and this is the weekend that growers along Kelly Drive will find out for sure which pumpkin is the biggest. For 16 years, families along Kelly Drive have been locked in competition when it comes to growing massive pumpkins. They expect more than 600 people for the festival that begins at 11 on Saturday morning. By the way, the pumpkins this year are expected in the 400-pound range. Well, finally, 7 fourth graders now have a cool title, Watershed Hero. Evan Reckelbacher recruited 6 of his classmates for a water cleanup project in Plymouth this summer. Evan had learned about a problem impairing Mooney Lake, so the boys set out to fix it. They swept 100 pounds of debris from 17 storm drains that empty into the lake.
First storm drain was probably one of our hardest because it had a lot of sand, and we broke a bag, and then we had to use another garbage bag, and then we used the snow shovels. We used those.
See, their snow shovels are ready to go again. The boys also glued permanent stickers to the storm drains that say no dumping drains to the lake. Good for them. That'll do it. That's it for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Have a great weekend.